What's up, Boxica fam? Cyrus here. Welcome to another episode of the Boxica podcast. I'm sitting here with Claire.
Hello.
Super Coach Claire. And the subject of today's podcast is going to be all about motivation. I wanted to do this because I've spoke to a couple of the members recently about it, and I just think it'd be a great podcast to get into, a great subject. Motivation is a very interesting subject, a tricky one, and I hope myself and Claire can really shed some light today on motivation and give you some tips to put into your daily lives that will help you motivate yourselves. So Claire, thoughts on motivation?
Motivation. Okay, well, motivation wavers day to day.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are relying on someone or something for motivation, then you're not going to be able to stay motivated.
Mm-hmm.
As a coach, you can get your clients, we can get the members excited about the journey that they're on, but we can't motivate anyone to get into anybody's head to make them do what they need to do. That's on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with motivation, you are your own creator. You have to get really clear on what your why is and why you're doing what you're doing, because nobody can motivate you. And if you're relying on somebody else for motivation, then you're going to fail, because you don't wake up every morning motivated. I think that's why most successful people meditate, because they get really clear and they visualize their goals, what they want, their whys. So I think that's the first step in changing your lifestyle and a transformation. It's getting clear on your why, but also owning where you're at, owning your current state.
Yeah.
Asking yourself, where are you now?
Yeah.
How does that feel? Where do you want to go?
Yeah.
How do you want to feel? And you almost have to ask yourself these questions.
Yeah.
And own it.
Yeah.
And also not talk down at yourself. If you're feeling overweight and you're feeling really self-conscious right now, don't talk down at yourself, because that's not going to motivate you. You got to get excited as if you're your own project. You got to get excited about the end goal.
Yeah.
And I think that's where motivation all starts.
I think a couple of things you said there was very powerful. One, that motivation comes from within you, not from someone else. I mean, like you said, you can get excited by somebody else. You can get inspiration from somebody else. You see someone else, maybe living a lifestyle that you want to live, looking a certain way, being a certain way, and you think, oh, I wish I could be like that, or that's a good goal for me to achieve, something like that. That's fine, but that'll wear off pretty quickly.
Yeah, it wavers.
That'll wear off pretty quickly. It needs to be something that's deeply embedded in you, and 100% what you said about knowing your why. I would love to know, the percentage of people, for example, listening to this podcast right now, that actually got their goals written out for what they want to achieve. I've said it in a previous podcast. I've got my goals as my screensaver on my phone, and I've had it there for years, and it's something that I read every morning when I wake up, and I read before I go to sleep at night, and I visualize, these things. And it's just always kind of in my mind.
It's a daily reminder. And
it does, it wavers, like you said. Motivation's not, I'll give you an example, because I've been doing fitness for such a long time. It is fit. I was having this conversation earlier. Fitness is me. I am fitness. It is Cyrus's fitness, right? I can't imagine ever not doing fitness. So I'll give you the example of something new that I've been doing recently. Not that new, but for the last, let's say, 8 months, is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. When I first started going to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I was not motivated to go there. I was getting my ass kicked every day. It was hard. I felt just, you know yourself, you go to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the women are kicking your ass, the guys are kicking your ass, the young teens are kicking your ass. You're not yet in a routine, it's not yet a habit, and I started to feel like, oh, this is really hard. And I just know from previous things that it's just a matter of time before it becomes a habit. So it's a bad example for me to say, oh yeah, sometimes I don't feel like going to the gym because I've been doing it for so long. I don't think that's a fair example. But Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is something that I have not been doing very long, and it was very hard to get into that habit, to motivate myself to go. And now it's a habit. 8-9 months into the journey, I just go there 3 days a week, regardless of how I feel. I turn up and I go through the motions. I might not have the best session ever every time I go there, but the motivation to go. I mean, if I woke up in the morning and just did what I felt like doing in that moment, like, oh, what do I feel like going to jiu-jitsu and get my ass whooped for an hour and a half? Hell no, I don't feel like doing that. But just going through the motion, making it habit, and doing it. And what you said as well about not talking down at yourself, that is super important. Talking
yourself out of what you need to be doing to get closer to where you want to be.
Don't talking bad about. Don't be like, oh, look at my body. Talking negatively to yourself, being negative in your mind. That is, that's not going to motivate you. You're not motivating yourself there. You're just talking bad to yourself. Positive, like you just said, like, wow, I get to go on this journey. I get to go to the gym and meet all these crazy people in the gym and have this experience. I get to, choose healthy food or whatever it is that's going to help you on your path. That positive mindset that you mentioned is absolutely key to it.
I think as well, it's about being curious about becoming better. It's almost, you've just got to constantly be curious on like how you can get better, and then that leads to discipline.
I feel like for motivation, you like something will happen in your life, like you'll see someone on Instagram, someone new. This is something that happens to me. You see someone on Instagram, oh my god, that that guy or the girl, they're really good. Maybe they're doing something, they're really in shape, they eat healthy food all the time, or they've achieved something, or they're doing something that you would like to do. And that moment, maybe it's a movie, maybe it's meeting someone in real life. You have an interaction with someone, you're like, oh wow, this person's really inspiring me. That kicks off this high motivation moment. Like for like a week, this memory's in you, and you're just like, oh my god, but that person's doing this. Yes, I want to aspire to be like that and do these kind of things, and whatever it is, it could be anything. And then it's like right on the tip of your mind. Like you go and sleep thinking about it, you're waking up thinking about it. It's there, but then sure enough, time just makes it, you forget about that person, you forget about that experience, and you go back to your automatic kind of like day to day. And then motivation lapses, and that's a perfect example of, it can't come. You can be inspired by other people, you can, build habits, but if you look for someone else to motivate you daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, it's never going to happen like that. It's just going to kind of like it's going to get less and less and less. So one thing that I heard that was really interesting, guys, that you can do to kind of keep that motivation, something that I used as well when I was on my jiu-jitsu journey, is trying to surround yourself with people and reminders sometimes. So like, I don't know, you'll start talking, you contact me and you start talking to me, and you chat with me on WhatsApp, or we have a coffee and we chat in the gym, and that just kind of gives you this extra boost to come and talk to me. Let's speak about your journey. Let's speak about nutrition. I might say something, you'll be like, oh, okay, great. That's your like thing. Like Cyrus is your new kind of like reminder or whatever. Every time you see me in the gym, you're like, okay, well, yeah, I need to go home and whatever it is. But that's gonna disappear after some time. I'll just be a normal face that you see. Maybe it's you write down your goals, which I want to talk about more. Maybe it's you start following different people on Instagram. Maybe it's you arrange, a call with someone, or you take some pictures of your goals and you put them on your screensaver on your phone, or something, just something that's going to give you a reminder. Just know that anything you do to motivate yourself, after 2 to 3 weeks' time, it's not going to motivate you anymore. So you need to come away from that. And keep it going. Like, what I mean, didn't mean come away from it. I mean change it. Change your motivation. Go and speak to someone else, meet someone else, watch a different movie. Anything that you do that motivates you, following people on Instagram, reaching out to people. I mean, you'll be surprised. I've reached out to, when I was trying to get in the fitness industry, trying to build up my client base and whatever, I was reaching out to coaches from around the world, like the world's best coaches, and asking them, hey, can we meet? And most of them turned me down. And some of the best in the world said, yeah. Some of them said, I'll charge you. Some of them were absolutely free. And this, one of the biggest motivators for me was going to Hollywood, meeting Gunnar Peterson. Do you know who Gunnar Peterson is? He's a famous coach who's trained Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Willis. Name a celebrity.
Okay. This
guy's trained them. Like, literally, name one. And I reached out to him, and he called me. He said, send me a number. Sent him a number. He called me. Hey Cyrus, what's going on? I was like shocked. And he goes, yeah, if you come this way, come to my gym. And he's giving me this ridiculous time in the morning, like 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Any day of the week, you be there, I'll be there. I'll show you around, man. We'll have a chat. So I went there and I met this guy. At stupid o'clock in the morning, went to his gym. He showed me around. He spent like an hour and a half with me. And I was starting to worry because I was like, damn, this is going to be expensive. And I remember I didn't have that much money in my bank, and I was thinking, oh my God, this is going to be so embarrassing. I was so worried. And I went, mate, how much do you want me to pay? And he was like, what are you talking about? It's all good, man. And I was just like, this is probably the most prominent trainer in the whole world. He showed me his office with all these books. Going back to the point of motivation, like after this time with this trainer, I was blown away, and I was 1000% motivated for 3-4 month period. I just kept thinking about this guy and this experience, and like, oh my God, wow. But it's still a memory, and I've still got it, and it's still very inspiring, but it disappears after some time, and you forget about it, and you've got to really deal with your own stuff. Want to add anything else?
All good for now.
Yeah, so one thing is, guys, motivation, realizing that it happens, you create your motivation, okay? Other people can inspire you, and you can switch it up, do different things, write your goals down, but know that anything you do, any experience that you do that's going to motivate you is going to disappear after a time. It's not going to always be there to motivate you. Switch it up, meet new people, do something new that's going to motivate you, and that will be your inspiration. But the daily getting up and going and doing what you need to do in order to achieve what you want, that is on you. Like, no one is going to do that for you. No one's going to do the work for you. And I highly recommend writing out your goals and reading them before you go to bed at night, and reading them first thing in the morning when you wake up. That's those 2 times of the day, just before you sleep and when you wake up in the morning, is the most likely that they are going to, or the best time of the day, where the information that you're reading or the things that you're thinking about are going to go into your subconscious. And that's what we're really trying to get at. So it's just a part of you, right? Like, fitness for me is just something that I've done since I was very young, and it's just, it's nothing. It's something that I don't have to think about. So that would be the ultimate goal, writing out your goals. So, yeah, I mean, some other tips that I've got written down here, things to think about with motivation. Groups is very motivating. Having a friend that comes on the journey with you, and comes to the gym with you, or you come to the gym. Like we always say, that boxing is a community. Knowing people in the gym that are going to come to your class and meeting them, that is very motivating, because you're like, oh no, I told my mate that I was going. I need to meet them there. I want to have that experience. Going through a challenge or a period of whatever it is you're trying to achieve with someone is so much more motivational and easy to do, right?
Yeah, it's surrounding yourself with like-minded people that are on the same, same path as you and where you're wanting to go.
Some of the things I've got written down here in my notes, like, you've got to want this for yourself more than other people want it for you. So if an example I can think of, like, if you've ever tried to get someone to quit smoking, or if you've ever tried to get someone to quit a toxic relationship or get in shape, for example. Like, I know I have a friend who's obese, and I've sent him every diet, tip, help, whatever in the world, but he doesn't want it. Like, he's still overweight, and he's been overweight for a while, and I don't think he's ever going to change. So the point is, you have got to want it for yourself more than other people want it for you. Like, if it's not coming from inside, and you are not the person, you're the person that's got to walk the walk and do the work. Like, no one's going to do it for you. And that's just a perfect example of my friend. Of, like, if other people want it for you more than you want it, then maybe it's not the thing for you. You have to want it more than other people want it for you. There is absolutely no shortcuts. So, yeah, I mean, another thing with, like, I want to get into the nutrition aspect of motivation with you now as well, because we both know that if you're looking to change your body, and this is the part that people struggle with the most, right? Getting in shape, losing body fat, they feel demotivated. And the nutrition, something that you mentioned to me a few days ago when we were on a call about this podcast, you said, I think it was you that said it, figuring out what foods you love to eat and that love you back. So I thought that was a very powerful, very powerful thing, and it's not. The mindset around nutrition isn't, oh, I have to eat this plain chicken breast and broccoli if I want to look like that. That is not how it works with motivation. That's not going to motivate you. That's chicken breast and broccoli is horrible. I would hate to eat that 5 times a day. But what is going to motivate you is going to be like, how can I make this meal taste amazing so I love it and I know that the ingredients are going to love me back? So, like, let's use the example of chicken breast and broccoli, right? Because this is the thing that coaches say all the time on podcasts, and people say, chicken breast and broccoli. It's an old joke now. But if I was going to eat chicken breast and broccoli, then I would put the chicken... here's what I would do. I would bash the chicken breast with this hammer with all the spikes on it to make it really soft. I would put these amazing spices on it. I would grill it to get that, like, flame grilled kind of thing going on it. I would saute the broccoli with some onions and some garlic and some, I'm being a bit silly here, but you get the point. And I'm going to eat that chicken breast and broccoli, and it's going to taste amazing. I'm putting salt and pepper on it. I'm going to make the chicken breast and broccoli taste nice. So that is the excitement of this journey of motivation. It's look at it like, how can I make this food that's going to love me? How can I start loving it and making the food you eat enjoyable? I eat most of my food now from Pura, as do you. A couple of meals a day from Pura, and I really like it. And if there's something that I don't particularly like or whatever, my wife's very good at getting a big wrap out, putting maybe some of the plain chicken breast in the wrap, putting some different spices and things in there, putting some low calorie cheese in there, putting it on the toasty machine and grilling the tops of it, and making that plain chicken breast go in an amazing wrap that you love. So it's that. These are the kind of things that are going to motivate you guys. Turning the table around, looking at the situation from another angle and taking it on as a challenge, and speaking to yourself and any situation in a positive manner, rather than being like, chicken breast and broccoli again, blah blah blah, because that's not the reality of it. What do you think?
No, I agree. It just all comes back to how you're talking to yourself, how you're feeling about things.
And I do believe in motivation. It's keeping things simple. Right? I feel like people try and take on too much in their lives. If they are struggling with motivation and they're feeling a bit down and they do keep reaching for things that they're not supposed to be eating, or they're not tracking their calories, or whatever it is that they're doing that's not in line with what they're trying to do, what else is going on in your life? Like, have you got 2 young kids and a job and a sick parent or financial struggles or whatever, like, and then you're trying to get in shape as well? Like, I'm not saying you should be out of shape if you're going through all these things, but keep it simple. I mean, keep your life simple. Don't, if you're going on the fight camp, for example, just make sure that the fight camp's your focus for the next few months. Like, your focus is your health. Get into it. And maybe you don't do the master's degree. You don't sign up for your new master's degree that month. You focus on that. I feel like people take on too much. I speak to people in the gym. They're like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm working in Abu Dhabi, I've got this master's degree, and I'm doing this. That's great. Like, some people can do all that and do it, but if health is going to be your focus, just make it simple, and focus on you for a period of time, and it will be worth it. I have to talk about habits as well. Habits is the biggest thing for me. It's probably mentioned habits on almost all of the podcasts that we've done, because I just feel like if you do something long enough, you kind of like force yourself, just go and do it for a period of time, 3 months, 4 months. Eventually it'll just be. It won't be something that you have to be motivated to do. Again, like fitness for us, right? Sometimes you don't feel like going to the gym, but if there's no good reason not to go and train, you will just automatically go there and start the workout. And as soon as you've warmed up and you're in it, you're in, and after it you feel amazing. There's no motivating yourself to go and work out. And now with eating healthy food for you and me, because we've been doing this so long, it's not something that we have to motivate ourselves to do.
We enjoy doing it.
Yeah, you enjoy it. It's fun. I love the way healthy food makes me feel, and 90% of my diet is healthy. I had a conversation with someone this morning that was like, they were saying, why don't you put more abs on your Instagram, on your Boxica Instagram? And I was saying, well, I don't think abs is a goal it's not a worthy goal for people to have. Like, that should not be your goal, to have abs. It's a very short-lived, a very miserable journey. This is not a positive thing. If your goal is to have abs, then that's not a real goal. A real goal is more like, I want to wake up and feel great every day.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to do that? Who doesn't want to wake up and feel amazing every day? I want to be fit and healthy for my kids.
I was just going to say that.
And my family, right? I want to be able to run around with my kids, play sports with them, be active with them, go on like fitness active holidays and do stuff with them. These kind of goals and these kind of deeper, meaningful things that you want to do are way more powerful than I want to get abs, because the abs goal, like honestly, stuff like that is very short-lived.
And I think like the more value attached to your goal, like the more drive you're going to have to want it. And it just takes, because the other thing as well, when you start to become more consistent and you're taking action and you're seeing results, well then what do results do? They're like a massive motivator. So that's also a when you start seeing those results, that's really motivating.
Yeah.
But every time that motivation is wavering, that's when you've got to remind yourself of your whys and like the pain and the pleasure.
The pain,
because I think when you've addressed your like pleasures and your pains, you can really like get clear on what it is you want. So, I mean, when you're thinking about like how you're going to feel to reach this goal, or comparing that to like where you are right now, which is you're probably, maybe you're feeling stuck, you've no confidence, lack self-belief, maybe no financial security, all of these things. So it's easier to just stay stuck. And because it's comfortable, it doesn't involve getting out your comfort zone. It doesn't involve going to the gym, doing your steps, tracking your food, meal prepping, time, effort. It requires none of that. But
stay where you are.
I just think, if you look at it like, what's harder? Is it harder to do all of those things that I know I need to do to get to where I want to be? Or is it harder to just stay where I am? And when you weigh up the pain to the pleasure, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep feeling like that in 5 years' time?
Yeah.
Or do you want to keep hustling for
what you really want?
What you really want.
Yeah.
And it's that just keeps
100%.
And then it forces you to take action. And then when you take action, you're consistent, results start happening. That then keeps that momentum going and the motivation.
I feel like it snowballs.
Yeah.
It starts with a small bit of, okay, just get myself going this kind of like month. Let me just do this month.
Yeah.
After a month, you see a little bit of results. So then you start coming to the gym more. Then you start looking at nutrition. And then after 3 months, you've really changed the way you look. And then you're feeling amazing. So you're not stopping this thing now. And in a year time, you've got this huge experience.
Yeah.
You've changed your body. You've got this great transformation. I feel like people get demotivated a lot with they perceive, or they have expectations. That's the word I was looking for. They have expectations. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to look a certain way in a certain amount of time, right? And you're just making that shit up in your head. You just an expectation, an unrealistic expectation from the start. So let's look at an example, and we've seen this so many times. Someone joins a fight camp or a nutrition program or gets a coach, starts coming to the gym. They do a month and they've lost 1 kilo of weight, right? Not getting into the specifics of weighing your body, like doing it properly and actually seeing what that kilo is, but let's just say they lost 1 kilo, and weight is what we're tracking in this particular scenario. And the typical reaction to that is, I've only lost 1 kilo. Because they had an expectation in a month of working hard, they were going to lose 5 kilos, right? But reality has kicked in, and they haven't lost 5 kilos, lost 1 kilo, because that's the reality of it, right? But there's 2 different people that have done exactly the same thing. One of them says to themselves, I've only lost 1 kilo, this is bullshit, I need to... or they just they start talking to themselves negatively, they look at the whole situation in a negative mindset, and they're like, they quit after another 2 weeks. They lose another 0.5 kilo, 1.5 kilos in 6 weeks. They leave the gym, they leave the program, and they don't do it anymore, and off they go, right? The other person says, wow, 1 kilo, I'm moving towards my goals. I did expect to lose more weight, but this is the reality of it. And now I know what it takes to lose weight. I have achieved weight loss. My goal was weight loss. I've achieved weight loss. It was harder than what I thought it was going to be. Wow. But I'm just going to keep doing it. And I'm just going to stay on this thing until I get to where I want to go. And they talk to themselves in a positive mindset. They get excited about the foods. They research different foods that they, trying to make food, making food taste good and that loves them back. They write down their goals. They get on that path. And a year later, they've consistently lost 1 kilo per month for 12 months. Now they're 12 kilos lighter. And the other person has gained the 1.5 kilo back and another 3 kilos because they've gone back to their old lifestyle of gaining weight. So now you're...
we can do another podcast about weight regain.
Yeah. We should actually do that. So you see how just exactly the same situation. One, positive, loving mindset, consistency mindset. One, talking to yourself negatively. Not going to help motivation.
And being positive about all the lessons that's taught you that you can now apply in all aspects of your life.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about the weight loss. It's about what it takes to achieve weight loss and how that like makes you a better human. Like
Yeah.
it's not just about the number on the scale, because that's like we talked about, the intrinsic motivators that don't last.
Yeah.
It's looking at the big picture.
Yeah. I feel like if you,
like, how good does it feel to do what you say you're going to do?
Yeah, trust in yourself.
Like, that builds like self-belief, and that makes you feel good way more than losing weight on the scale.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's just all a journey.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me is just feeling good. Like, I wouldn't swap that with anything in the world. My health and and my energy and how I feel every day.
Yeah.
You know, the a byproduct of living a fit and healthy lifestyle is looking fit and healthy.
Yeah.
And you know, waking up every day, feeling good, being motivated, all that kind of stuff. It all fits together. The mindset, the nutrition, the training. It's all a circle.
But it is really important, because you have to feel good, or you have to imagine what that feeling would feel like in order to do what you need to do.
Yeah. Some people must struggle with this. I mean, you know, probably look at me and Claire. Yeah, guys, you've been doing it for years. Blah 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 blah.
But we've been there from the beginning as well.
Yeah.
So that's why we can talk about motivation and how.
Yeah.
You know, it takes.
I just think it gets so much easier the longer you do it. Some people might be struggling. Like, one important thing to talk about is if you are a little bit overweight, maybe it's been so many years since you were in a body shape or a fitness level or whatever it is that you want to achieve. Maybe it's been many years since you were like that, and maybe you struggle thinking about how you know, maybe your mind can't even go there anymore, because you've just been in this negative spin health wise for so many years. Maybe you are struggling to see yourself as this person that you want to be, and that can be a tricky one, because now you're so embedded in this way of doing things, you can't even imagine your body being any different. Now that, I can tell you, is an absolute killer, because you are just reinforcing what you've been doing, because you're not thinking outside of the box, and you're not, you know, imagining that. And I think that's a very tricky situation for people to be in.
But that's when you can play the whole pain and pleasures game, you know, and you can ask yourself, how do I feel right now in my current state? And I guarantee most people are going to, you know, say, like, they feel stuck, they don't feel confident.
Yeah.
And then imagine, like, what it would feel like to be in shape, or to have more confidence.
Yeah.
But yeah, it needs to be like a valuable motivator. Like, maybe you want to become more confident because you would like to meet a partner. Maybe you've been on your own for so long, or
there you go.
Maybe you're a dad and you're overweight, and you want to, you know, you want to be fit for your children, and you want to play with like, those are deep and meaningful motivators that are going to last. And when you can picture that, and then when you actually start doing the work and taking action, and you start to, like, feel it just a little bit, then that just keeps, it accelerates.
Yeah.
And you just keep wanting, and that's how it's turned into a lifestyle for us.
Yeah.
Because we've been there, and then.
Yeah, it takes years. There's no shortcuts for this. For this to become just a part of who you are, it's not a thing that's going to take months or even a year. It's going to take time. And there's one more thing I wanted to talk about, and it's completely slipped my mind. I'm just going to recap on what we spoke about, and I think we've really gone into some detail there. So, action steps for you guys. Number 1, realizing that this motivation thing is all down to you. No one else is going to do it for you. You can be inspired by other people and events and things, but that's not motivation. That's inspiration. write down your goals. If you've not got your goals written out, write them down, keep them somewhere where you can read in the morning and before you go to sleep at night. Maybe keep it on your phone like I do, and get that stuff sunken into your brain, like what it is you want to do.
And I think as well, like it could be anything. It might not just be weight loss. It might be, someone might want to earn more money or complete an educational course, or it could be any goal. It doesn't need to be like weight loss. But you have to get like really clear on what it would feel like if you had that already.
Same foundations. It's the same thing. If you want to, anything. It's a journey, and you got to lay the foundations for whatever it is. You got to put the work in. You got to put the time in. Blah blah blah. We're talking about health and fitness because that's what we do. Getting inspiration from things, following different people on social media, listening to some inspirational books, audio books or podcasts, or reading books from people that have achieved what you want to achieve in any, like you said, anything. If you want to earn more money, if you want to start a family, if you want to meet someone, if you want to travel, whatever it is that you want to do, if you want to start a business, surrounding yourself with those ideas. I feel like
it's just getting clear.
Yeah, getting very clear, and then realizing that you deserve whatever it is you want. If you put the work in, you will deserve that thing. Right? So a lot of people look at fit and healthy people and they say, "I'll never be like that," or they'll think subconsciously, "I don't deserve that." Yeah, you don't deserve it right now because you haven't put the work in yet. But if you get clear on what you want and you start grafting, and you don't be lazy, research the nutrition. People say I haven't got enough time to log my food in my fitness pal. Okay, then don't do it. But if you do put the work in, you will deserve it because you put the work in for it. Habits is a big one. Don't take the thought process out of it. If you've just started training and you just started on this journey, go on the Boxica app, book your sessions for Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and don't think about it. Be
realistic.
Yeah.
Don't try and do like that whole all or nothing.
It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. 3 days a week, 4 days a week. Try and fix your breakfast. Try and have a healthy breakfast for the next 2 weeks. Forget about the rest of the day. Slow and steady steps towards your goals wins over that sprint. Look, if you do a sprint, it's going to be a painful thing as well, and you're going to embed that. Let's say you started that like the typical thing that people do. I'm going to lose weight in 2 months. I'm going to completely transform my body, and I'm going to go all out. I'm going to do 20,000 steps a day. I'm going to do 5 days a week in Boxica. I'm going to double up strength and boxing some days. Yeah. And you're not going to go out on the weekends with your friends. You're not going to go out doing the things you used to do. You're just going to be a little bit of a recluse, and you're going to go for it. Now, you're going to break. You're going to eat not Cyrus's chicken breast and broccoli. You're going to eat chicken breast and broccoli every day, right? And stuff you don't enjoy. It's going to be a painful 2 months. And then you are embedding into your mind and your experiences, getting in shape is painful.
Yeah.
Is miserable. Is whatever, right?
And we're trying to come away from that.
It's not a painful, horrible thing. It's a great thing. Enjoy it. And look at this thing as the long term, and have fun with the nutrition. The nutrition's where it's at. If you want to, that's the hardest thing people deal with. Make it a challenge. Make it something that, be inspired to research more nutrition. Be inspired to look at different restaurants. Be inspired to figure out how you can enjoy the journey. And if you are doing something that is really miserable and you hate doing it, figure out a different way to do it. Or don't stop doing it. Do something else. Right? Enjoy the journey. Well, guys, I am out of motivational talking right now.
Yeah, I think we've covered everything.
Yeah, a few examples of our own lives and some things you guys can take away. So thank you for listening. I hope that you get something from this. And if any of you are have got anything on your mind that you want to talk to me and Claire about, and you feel like that we missed, or you feel like that you want to add, or you want to talk to us about something for motivation, you feel like something really motivates you or doesn't, or anything on this subject, just say hi in the gym and tell us what's on your mind.
Or if you need any help on like how to
start this
create
thing up.
those steps.
Yeah, how to start this thing. If you need to sit down with us and talk about, hey Cyrus, or hey Claire, listen to your motivation podcast. What do I do now? We're here. Come and talk to us. All right, thanks guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.